Been talking a lot about fibromyalgia, and it's tough, right? Fibromyalgia is a tough condition, isn't it? And it really becomes more of a question of what symptoms don't you have versus which ones do you have, right? Now, I've sent out dozens of videos and emails and posts basically explaining fibromyalgia, what's actually going on with this condition, what systems are involved, talking about what's actually happening inside the body, where the actual systems are that need to be addressed. And to that end, I really love figuring these things out, and I really love strong breakthrough methods of addressing all these issues. I love it. I love secret weapons. I love finding that there is something that just totally works better than everything else out there. In fact, that's what I've dedicated my life to wading through all this other garbage to find, all the garbage that causes these just temporary results or temporary relief, temporary solutions. So I've addressed some of these secret weapons in dealing with the body systems and how we can make massive changes by addressing the body in the right order and in the right way and at the right time. So what's one of the secret weapons I haven't talked about? So let me just ask you first about your fibromyalgia. Now, do you have pain? Is it everywhere? Are you fatigued? How about your sleep? Do you sleep well? Do you have digestive problems? Or are you stressed? How can you not be, right? Now, I'd say about 90% of the fibromyalgia warriors that we work with will answer yes to all of those questions. And the funny thing is that sometimes those are not even considered the worst issues. So what are the worst issues? So now ask yourself this. Does your fibromyalgia cost you valuable time with your family? Does it cost you time at work, or even cost you your job in general? Does it cost you enjoyment on vacations or with your friends? Or does it just completely consume your whole life? Now, sadly, 80 to 90% of our clients answer yes to all of these questions as well. And I think this is what many people simply don't understand about fibromyalgia. It's not just being in pain or being tired or unable to sleep. It's the time that it costs you. It's the relationships, the joy and happiness, fulfillment. Fulfillment in life. It's your life that it's costing. Now, all of these issues over time start to kind of close the world in around us. They limit us from going out, from interacting well with others, from working, from doing things like hiking or gardening, things that we love, from enjoying just a beautiful summer day, or from enjoying a cool day in the fall. And then what really happens is it starts to cause us to think differently. It's like it poisons our minds. Now, something I observe in virtually everyone is I observe how they think and they feel. What are their thoughts like? What's going on in here? When you suffer for that long, it's bound to make some changes, right? So for example, one client recently was constantly putting themselves down, calling themselves stupid and worthless, kept saying things like, I can't. It's hard for me to hear this. I asked one client the other day, what happens if you say to yourself the opposite? What happens if you say, I am smart, I am beautiful, I don't give up? And you know what happened? What actually happened? This client fell to the ground crying, fell down on the ground and started crying, saying, I can't do that. I can't do that. This poison had gotten so deep that they can't even say something nice and kind to themselves. And I was almost moved to tears myself. Let me ask you, would you tell your loved ones, your children, your parents, your spouse, you're ugly, you are stupid, you are worthless? Would you say that to the people that you love most? Of course not. We don't say things like that to the people we love and care about, because we know how harmful and damaging that kind of thing can be. So what is this secret weapon that I alluded to earlier? And it's almost too simple. It's self-love. The ability to love and appreciate ourselves and to stop all this negative self-talk. This negative self-talk is amongst the most disempowering things in our lives. And self-love can be one of the most empowering. Now, it's something that I dive deep into with any of my stage 3 clients. I think it's one of the most important weapons we have against fibromyalgia. So that client I mentioned, the client I mentioned just a little bit ago, so after all this crying and catharsis, we spoke more. We went through some basic exercises and we changed that process. By the end of this session, you're gonna love this. I had her not just saying things like, oh, I'm smart, I'm beautiful, I never give up. But instead, I had her screaming it at the top of her lungs. Just belting it out. Now, can you imagine the transformational change something like that has? The amount of strength and power it gives you to say something like that to yourself, and with such volition. How do you think she felt? Now, I gave you an incredible exercise just 2 weeks ago. It's a very, very simple practice that can dramatically change your emotional state. Something that is ranked as working as well as some of the drugs out there. Now, I'll make a link to it in the comment section of this video, but give yourself the favor of watching it and doing it right now. Do not wait. Now, just imagine if this was your child or your brother or your sister, your mother, father, your spouse, and all you wanted to do, the only thing you wanted to do was help them more than anything else in the world. Give yourself that same love and appreciation. Don't wait, do it right now. Thank you, everyone. I know this fibro journey can be extremely difficult, and that's why we're here. We want to act as guides to help show people the way through it, to show that there is a light on the other end of the tunnel.